What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
What's good? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Are you poppin'?
Welcome to What's Poppin'. It's your boy, Dre Walsh, and Feminine Energy. Howie, tell them what's poppin'. What's poppin'? With you. What's poppin' with you, Howie?
Nothing, just out here. What's up? Thank you for tuning into Fam TV.
Yo, we out here. And what's poppin' is there's a lot of things poppin'. It's back to school. The older Caribbean people, they say free paper bun. But, you know, they used to, my parents were like, my mom was like, free papers means like, you know, you're free to, your papers for the summer. They're burnt up now because you have to go back to school. But I think that has some connotations with slavery there, you know, like free papers, you know, you know, the slave catcher catch you and say, what do you mean free papers, and burn that up. Free paper bun. Yeah. Anyways, back to school. And everybody's treating back to school like it's Christmas. You know, did you get your kids back to school clothes? Mm-hmm.
Well, you gotta be fresh for going back to school. You need the new kicks.
I know that
For
you
sure,
have
the
to.
shoes,
You
at
have
least.
to.
Yeah.
Like, especially the kicks.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just a fresh pair of kicks, because you
Yeah.
know some kids, they be getting hot stuff all through the summer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you get a kicks, and you know what I mean. You're good.
Welcome, Spandy. I'm gonna get another chair. You could
Hold on.
stay here. I'm gonna
Hold on.
How do you know
He
I
could
know?
get a chair.
How do
You
know?
not get up.
You
Excuse me.
You can't get up. I
Excuse
get
me.
my chair.
Where you running
I'll
to?
get my chair.
Where's she running to?
She doesn't know how to power TV
Come
works.
on.
This is what it looks like behind the scene.
Right?
All this time I've been in front of the camera, I never got to see the behind the scenes.
Sometimes you gotta get the big picture. You know what I'm saying? You gotta big picture. Yeah. Anyways,
Let's go.
all right. So, back to school.
What about
So there's some people
Yeah.
who I haven't seen post no kids the whole year. Okay? But yesterday, was it Tuesday? It was back to school fever. They're like, yo, all kind of kids. Oh, these are my kids. Here's my kids.
Well, you have to remember also, back to skate, parents putting their children's picture up on social media was trending.
Definitely.
So it was trending. It was something that was a cool momentarily thing. So it's like if you have kids, today's the day you post them. If your kids are too old to be in school, you're exempt.
Okay.
You
Or
know?
too young.
Or too young. You know,
Okay.
you're kind of exempt. But I even see people say, look, first day of daycare. So
Okay. Yeah.
Even stuff like that, I think.
We're getting in on the. So basically, what's happening is consumerism is taking over everything. Everything's a holiday. Everybody's putting pressure on somebody else to buy something to maintain their status.
I was thinking,
You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking
You know what I'm saying, peoples?
a lot of people. I think birthdays are difficult to do in general. I think birthdays are able to do. I think birthdays are hard to do. Birthdays, Christmases. I think if you were to get like relationships, is like. But then again, I don't know. Most people are single, right? If you're single, I guess it's pretty affordable. No pressure.
It's true. I mean, if you're single and you have a check every month coming to you, then yeah, it should be nothing for you to cut. But if you're using that check for everything, you can't buy the clothes with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't. If you're using that for rent and you're using it for groceries, and you know you're not actually getting your own money,
I think
then
we're already
you need help.
We're already in fall, so I think the holidays are what? Football, Thanksgiving, and Halloween.
Yeah, that's what's coming.
That's what's coming.
But
That's
what just happened was back to school holiday.
Yeah,
the new one.
Back to school, and it was like the ritual of back to school almost.
It was a ritual. Now, how much people put unneeded pressure on other people to buy things. You know what I'm saying? Just like Christmas, Valentine's.
You have to think, every kid wants to look nice and fly and fresh on their first day of school.
They also
But
want to
I
look
also-
flying fresh on the second and third day of school too.
Very true.
Right?
But I think a lot of parents are living through their kids vicariously.
Definitely.
So I think
Definitely.
it's like, hey, I got made fun of. I don't want you to ever get made fun of.
I was just about to
And
say.
then they do this thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna buy him Jordans. When it's all little Ray wanted was Batman shoes.
Right.
You know, he just wanted some Batman shoes or some Superman shoes, but you went and bought him Jordans because you're trying to, You know,
You
like
want
the
him to
status.
have what you wanted.
Yeah, the status, like, oh, you're
Yeah.
cool, you
Yeah.
have all the fly stuff.
And you didn't realize that you wanted that in grade 9. The homie's in grade 1. Like,
Well, you have to
kindergarten.
Right now, no, we got like, look at the next time you ever go to a grade school, just look at the average brands of backpacks. You don't see any Little Pony or any strawberry shortcakes.
No.
You see Juicy Couture. You see like all these brands, and you're like, wow. But at the same time, you have to realize it's not the kids buying it; it's the parents.
Yeah.
That they want to feel a certain level.
The kid
of,
is now the parent status symbol.
the gratification.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people see your kid can't look dusty.
Yeah. Some people put their kids in programming, in expensive tennis, and you know what I mean,
Well,
just as a
and
status.
For me, I always tell people I was telling my friend the other day, I felt that was a status thing. He says, "Oh, I put my kids into tennis,"
Yeah.
and I said, "What do you know about tennis? Tell me."
Yeah. How can you help your kid train for tennis?
Yeah, but but it was
Yeah.
like it sounded good though.
Or do they
No,
train?
it sounded good.
No, it sounds good,
It
but
sounded
like,
good. His kids play tennis, and he's like, "Oh, my kid also like she does violin," and I said, "Oh, you
man.
seem like you're raising a little Ashley Banks on your head," and it was just to me so weird because I was like, how do you bond with someone like that?
See, I can understand the logic of like, let me put my kid in these rich activities, in these wealthy people's activities, so that maybe they're rubbing shoulders and having a network that has these wealthy people in it.
Well,
Right?
that's why. And then I was like, we were debating, and we were saying, so for the average kid, how do you think the average kid now, like we're talking about clothes and status, they don't even have sports teams at schools no more. They remove sports from school, so for you to be even playing sports now, you need to be on a rep team.
A rep.
Rep team costs money.
Yo, hold on. I gotta shout out Mr. Winslow, Robert Winslow. Rest in peace. But the man told me in 1992, he told me that schools are, like, sports is gonna leave the schools and go into private facilities. This is like before Mike Harris. So sports was gonna leave the schools, and there would be no sports in schools, and you'd have to pay to play sports. So he basically told me to enjoy my free sports now, because my kids will have to pay for theirs,
Yep.
right? And that was downtown Regent Park, all right? And right now you could say Regent Park probably has the most free programming for youth in the city, in probably Ontario.
And now you got to say, that's why when you go to these community centers,
I was between Regent and Jane and Finch.
between a lot of those community centers, the community centers in Jane and Finch are empty. And it's facts. You go there and the kids are not playing ball, and then the kids that do go there and play ball, they're saying it's a waste of their time, because all the kids my age that are recognized and good are all
rep.
playing there.
Yes.
I'm just the one.
They're by, what's that place by Orangeville? The Axe?
They have
They're in the
Orangeville
Axe.
Prep. They have like the Finley Prep. They have schools that we ain't never even heard of in our day.
Yeah.
They got buildings that are called like real schools that are just there for sports. And I was telling someone the other day, I sent my son to summer camp, but the summer camp goes like this: they do schoolwork in the day. No, they do schoolwork from 9 to 12, and then from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
It's basketball, it's training, and it's going over your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the improvement he made in just the summer, and I said, this is why I think, me personally, I would invest to do that with school full time, because I'm not sure on the curriculum of school, how it's being done right now.
I'm telling you right now, shout out the prep schools. All my brothers having their own prep schools out there. Starroy, Steve Roy, a basketball prep. I forgot the name right now, but get at me. You can come on the show. You know what I'm saying? My brother Taz, you got next level training. They got a prep with Silverthorne Collegiate. Like, Canadian guys gone to the States, did their sports thing, and they're coming back to impart. But we gotta we got to want to involve our kids in their thing.
And
Like a lot of kids are playing Fortnite all summer.
I think that's the part two side of the story, is that there's so much job opportunity for, like you said, the former guys that used to play, that went across, that got the scholarship, and you may not be playing anymore.
Yeah.
You're needed as a coach, as a trainer. You're needed as something, solely because it's like, how in the world could you think your knowledge shouldn't be passed down? But just overall, I think everything just kind of got more expensive, and I think it's like people just don't even get paid that much more. So we have kids that need to look fly.
Yeah.
So that's the main issue. We have kids that need to look fly, but also at the same time, there's no point in looking fly when. Oh, question?
Yeah. So Oliver D. Levy says parents are messing up our kids, and he says,
Speak louder, speak louder. Can't hear you.
okay, so Oliver says that parents are messing up the kids, okay? And he says this is why kids don't have resilience, because everything is given to them. So,
yeah.
Resilience.
And he also said, why do they have to look fly? Like, what's the point of
Yeah.
them looking fly?
Okay.
Why are you? I'm pretty sure Oliver's getting at why we have to. What's the focus on them looking
Okay,
good?
well then you have to just say, have you ever been made fun of?
Yeah.
You know how it
all
feels?
kids,
Did you
yeah.
like it?
Okay, and then,
Not about fear,
and then
but-
did you like it?
No. Like,
And-
And that's the feeling you wouldn't want to have, and that's all it is.
And what
That's
happens?
all
But this
it
is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. I'll tell you this. There was a time when champions and Fila's, suede ones were in style, box cuts, Gumbies. You know what I mean? And I came to school in like a butterfly collar, but it had a polo, and like a no-name shoes, and the hair never got cut because your moms couldn't afford it that time. So I know that feeling of being made fun of that first day in grade 6 was a catalyst to where it's like, yo, you know what? I'm not gonna let that happen again. So when the man are selling drugs to get some money and for shoes, guess who's rolling with them? I'm getting my shoes. You know what I'm saying? So when I show up with feelers and now I'm up to the time, but I got it a certain way. Had I had somebody to get that for me, maybe I'd have concentrated on ball more. Or, you know what I'm saying? So that's also another aspect of why we're living vicariously through the child.
Well, yeah, because people also have that fear.
So now, just to add to what you just said, which is a very good response,
Yeah.
Oliver says, well, he says exactly, and if I get made fun of because I don't have self-esteem, this comes from the home. So all he's saying is that even if, let's say, if a kid, and Oliver, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Let's say if a child, doesn't have X, Y, and Z as far as up to the time gear. So that shouldn't be a hindrance towards a child attending school because they already have from within the kind of self-esteem for them to push through. So if they do get bullied, you know what I mean? That shouldn't be a big deal. That's going to be like, just water under the bridge for that kid because he has a mentality to be stronger than what the kids want him to be. So
Understood.
when you're ridiculing a kid, and as we know, children are very mean. They make fun of each other for everything. It shouldn't bother you that way. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, hold on. What you said something there, and we have to make a distinction between being made fun of and getting bullied, okay? Because we live in a really sensitive society, right?
That is true.
So,
I think
right?
that's something you have to look at because, okay, go.
So Oliver's just saying, so if what if a kid gets made fun of? I would teach my kids to deal with it and move on.
Yeah, but it's like, that's totally understandable with a simple, very a simple situation, but something complex like, that sounds like someone making fun of your branded shoes.
Yeah.
But what about now when someone makes fun of the fact that you're so black?
No, what about
Or
somebody?
the fact that there's something you can't change.
Yes,
When
yeah.
it's something that you can't change, I think it's a little difficult then. They made fun of this sweater I wore today, I won't wear it again.
Hold on.
that's
Hold
the
on.
thing.
Let's ask Oliver. You can't afford the shoes. Maybe you're not in a position where you know that feeling of not being able to afford the shoes for back to school, and you have to get those Walmart no-name shoes, and your kid goes to school and gets made fun of today. You tell them, yo, get over it. They get over it. They go back, made fun of again. Now that making fun of that shoe is now making your kid the catalyst for a lot of other kids to dump on because they are insecure. Something's going on with them. So now everybody's dumping on your kid because of the shoe, right? You telling me you can teach your kid to be resilient to all that? Everybody in grade 5 is...
Well, then the only reason
On them?
the only reason why I say it's true is because of like how do you equip someone? Like with Tyshawn, I tell Tyshawn, you ever notice when we're in the hood you see the most Benzes and Beamers? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you ever notice when we're driving in rich neighborhoods we look, we see nothing but, look at that simple car. It'll be a 2019 car, but like a Chrysler.
Yeah.
Well, and then I always tell him these things. I'm like, be honest. You see some rich white guys, you're not gonna see them with gold chains on their neck.
No.
And I say, you have to pay all these things attention. I said, so when you see someone in school and this kid would be dressed fly, yeah, he's dressed nice, but ask him, where do you live?
Ask him...
No, then that's a question.
Oh,
How
for
can
sure.
you make fun of me? We go to the same school. But where do you live?
Right?
You might live where I live.
Yo, the
And
kid
if
with
you
the
live where
Jordans...
I live, how much richer are you than me really? And then that's when it comes down to, wait a minute, how come you have all this Jordan, but you live in a lesser place than me? And that's when kids be like, now you
find out.
You should hear some arguments at school. I hear kids literally say,
Come on.
you shouldn't be wearing all that Jordans because I see where you lived. And
Right?
kids be paging kids on some, no, I see the house you come out of. You shouldn't be dressing that fly.
Right.
Because kids are starting to realize, hey, you always have all this stuff, but none of your parents have a car.
Right?
They're starting to
but
base
what about
things
this?
now
But what
on-
about this? The fact that you can have Jordans, but you're sleeping on
You don't
the
have your own
floor.
room. No, you don't have your own room.
you have crates and
Kids will literally say, but do you have your own room?
Exactly.
We're in a different time of jokes now where kids will start to go in depth because parents are letting them know the difference between looking like who has money and who really got money.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have another question. Oliver is asking, how do you equip your kids then? In regards to
Okay.
just general
Okay.
bullying.
No, the equipping comes like consistently, everyday equipping with the idea of self, of like, we know that material stuff is material stuff, right? We also know that what people say doesn't define you. You know what I'm saying? When you have these foundations all the time, we're not waiting for school. You know what I mean? These things consistently happen, right? So you equip your kid like that, and then you support your kid, your child. You know what I'm saying? Supporting them means maybe saying, all right, listen, I don't have the money for the Jordans right now, but we'll work towards it, and you'll have that Jordans by November. So they can like suck in whatever this they're getting because they know they're getting a Jordans in November, and by the time they get their Jordans, those youths that are this year Jordans are dirty, kick up, right?
I think it's just when you let them appreciate and understand the value of money, and I think the big mistake we make is we let our kids think we get free money. I let my kids know no one pays me for my good looks. I feel they should, but they don't. So with that being said, your dad works hard.
Right.
So I drum that in his head to let him know and be aware you really have to kind of sort of be on top of those things. Like you kind of have to sort of, something simple like 2K, the video game will come out. There'll be 2K gold for a bill 20. They'll have the regular 2K that goes for $80.
Yeah.
My son will say, Dad, just get the regular 2K. And I'll say, why? You want me to get that one? He knows I have the money to get it. He'll be like, that's just a waste of money. They want people to spend the extra money. So he's already starting to see, so I'm happy. He's like, why would I spend the extra money on that when I could play the game, get the same things you gave me for free, and save my money?
Yeah. Instead of just getting.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
can you get it? Get it for me. So and there's a lot of kids and parents in this day and age. There's a lot of families who have split up, and because they split up, the parents now overcompensate with giving the kids everything they want.
And they never want to make their kid know. Like growing up, my birthday's December 1st, so I knew from when I was maybe, to be honest,
1 present.
5 years old, your birthday comes with rent. Facts. Your birthday lands on rent. So you just have to accept that. You're not going to get no, and my birthday's in December.
Yeah.
So the rule is you could get 1 crazy gift or 2 mediocre gifts. But you're not getting 2 crazy gifts.
Yeah.
It's the month of December.
Yeah.
And I knew this as a child. And I was more than cool with it because, so what do you want? My mom would say, I can buy you new Jordans, but we live outside. What do you want? I can get you the J's, but we live outside. And as a kid, you're like, no, I want to be in my house. I want to be in my house.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to live outside, but, so I'm more than understanding.
I'll take Adidas.
I'll take his Adidas and house in these Adidas. And that's just, you never want your kid to feel, my
Yo,
parents
what's
have free
Quentin
money.
saying? What's Oliver saying?
So Oliver said he agreed with you before when he was asking about how do you equip the kids.
Yeah.
He was in agreement with you. Sorry, Oliver, I saw the question how, so I just asked it as a question. And he's saying that just as an FYI, I'm a parenting expert who teaches parents how to raise successful kids without getting frustrated. So this topic is
I need
a
you.
real one to
I
me.
need you.
Frustrated.
Especially the
If
without
you get
getting
frustrated,
frustrated
you
part.
shouldn't have kids.
Without
he's saying
frustrated
he's a
part.
No, I'm saying, but like, you cannot get frustrated as a parent. It's like,
What?
you gotta have the utmost patience.
Oh, okay.
Who has
I
the most
understand.
patience in the world? Okay, ready? Who has the most patience in the world? Who do you think?
Parents.
Yeah.
Someone else. You know who has the most patience in the world?
God.
High school teachers.
High school. Do they have the patience, or are
They
they
have
gonna
patience.
send your kid off to
They
get
have
Adderall?
patience, they
Oh,
have-
he has ADHD.
They got
Adderall.
the most patience, man.
They should have the most patience for the best.
Could you imagine
The
teaching-
best teachers, high
could you
school
imagine
teachers,
teaching
have the best.
yourself
Like
though, as a
your
grown up
comments
and
here,
teaching yourself
Oliver.
back in high school?
Oh my
Smokes.
gosh! I see kids. I'm a youth worker. I see kids. I'm like,
Yo,
look, it's
I
me.
apologize to everyone. I
Oh,
literally say
man.
sorry, bro.
Yeah,
The way I was when I was younger, I say sorry, bro. I used to do some shit.
Oh man.
You, on the first day of grade 8, I had my own desk. The very first day of school, like the teachers knew about me. But Oliver has one more comment. Should I read it?
Of
Yeah,
course.
please.
Yeah, he said, if you dare make fun of my kids because of whatever reason, the school, sorry, I'm trying to understand. They will school you.
But that's what, yes, that's
Yeah,
what you want.
they will school you.
'Cause they're
and
well-trained.
It wouldn't affect them
Remember
one
that
bit.
kid that was on Shade
We as
Room?
parents have to
Which
dig
kid?
The
deep.
black kid that was on Shade Room, and he was so
Smart.
educated,
Yeah, yeah,
smart.
yeah.
Like
He
was
dropped
on
the-
some kids were trying to make fun of him for making like he was talking about his shoes, but he was like, why would they, like he almost broke down.
He
like,
was conceptualizing
yo,
the bullying.
man's
Why?
Smartness.
Yeah.
You couldn't bully him. You just had to walk away and say sorry. Let me find somebody else.
Yeah.
His parents put him on a different.
The most he could do that guy was like, ha ha,
was
and that's it. That's not gonna work.
No, I think for sure with I'm happy to hear.
Hold on though. Like, yo, Oliver, parenting expert, holla. Don't be standing back there. Come on Mondays, we got our community section. My brother, reach out to us. You need to come on the show. All right, reach out.
That'd be great, man. A
Right?
parenting expert, that's key. Man. That's key.
Because we're gonna do healthy relationships. September's about healthy relationships.
Healthy relationships that
On what's popping, and a healthy relationship with your child is probably more important than healthy relationship with anybody else, right?
Key. I was telling someone that you must find some type of bonding ground with your child.
During every phase, terrible twos, terrible threes, and teenagers, right?
I was reading something on Johnny Depp just very quick, and it was crazy because he said that his father made him try drugs at the age of 6.
Whoa.
And he said that his father made him try drugs because his father was a drug addict, but his father wanted him, he wanted them to bond, and this was the only thing that
To bond
them. And it was so deep, and I was like, it's so true. You're going to bond with your kid, whether you bond in a positive or negative light, but you will bond with your kid.
Yeah, but hindering your child's health, especially at the very young age of 6, is stupid and retarded. He's an idiot for that. The dad.
I
No
mean-
offense,
I
Johnny
mean-
Depp's
Of course,
dad,
of
but
course, of
you're an
course,
idiot.
of
Your
course.
child is growing.
But that just blew my mind to how many times have I seen dads take your first shot of liquor?
Yeah, your first beer.
How
But
many-
but
you see, like-
but this is what I'm trying to say is to somebody out there that's not wrong, right?
That's the
to
scary
somebody
part.
out there.
That's the first thing I was taught.
Their
My
dad was a
professor taught me that the first day
Hold
of
on though.
anthropology.
Somebody out there, the dad was a crackhead, and the dad just took himself away because they never wanted to influence the kid, and and the kid ended up growing up to be a crackhead. Johnny Depp ended up being a multi-millionaire philanthropist, actor.
But yeah, I think that was just key.
Maybe he's
You're
dabbling
gonna,
in.
You're gonna bond. You're gonna bond with your kid, whether positive or negative. You're gonna bond with your kid, regardless of
Okay.
the type of life.
Yo, we're gonna live. We still here. We're changing the topic. We were just talking about back to school, kid relationships, families, and now we are going back into what's popping, what's been popping. There's a hurricane that just went through the Caribbean. Shout out to all my family, all my peoples in the Caribbean. I ain't get to call you back, man. I'm sorry, B. I'm gonna call you just now, man. All right? It's love. I'm glad you okay. I know you good. So
Yeah.
Hurricane, Malik Yoba. So Malik Yoba saying that he loves transsexual women or transgendered women. Does that mean that he's coming out the closet, being now saying that he's gay, or is that just him, his sexual expression, like he's not gay, he can still be straight? I'm not.
That's
The
a
question.
very good question, Dre. Especially when it comes to gender labeling or your sexual orientation as far as the labeling is concerned. People don't like labels.
Speak a little louder.
Louder? Okay. I would assume that he's pretty much saying that he is a part of the LGBT community since he's attracted to trans women, meaning he likes women who are men, so to speak. So he's a man himself. I guess that would make him.
Yeah. Whatever the definition of transgender is,
Yeah.
we know what transgender is, okay? So, I mean, I know what transgender is without, it's such a sensitive society that I don't even know how to describe them without offending somebody. You know what I mean? So I'll just say transgender.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just this is a disclaimer. I'm pretty sure FamTV and we don't hold any prejudice or any judgment towards anybody of any type of sexual orientation.
But we do like to examine things from an academic perspective.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Malik Yoba who is he again?
Malik Yoba he was like the black guy from New York Undercover, the black cop. There was a New York Undercover was a big TV show that propelled hip hop culture in the 90s, and it was about a black cop and a Hispanic cop that were undercover in different situations in New York City. And Malik Yoba was the black cop, and he's part of he's like a cult classic show, you know what I mean? So whenever I see Malik Yoba, I'm like, yeah, New York Undercover, you know? And him coming out as somebody from the hip hop culture, and it just is a sign to see that, you know, times are changing, people are changing, and acceptance is acceptance and sensitivity are very synonymous with each other, you know. If you're not accepted, you're sensitive, right? And then, I mean, we do it with the black struggle too, you know what I mean? Every group that feels that they need justice is sensitive in some way, right? So what we have to do, what I feel we got to do is kind of discern sensitivity by level of importance, you know, and importance changes from person to person. So it is what it is. So that was just what was popping. Malik Yoba comes out to say that he loves trans women, right? So what else do you think about that?
So there's a lot associated with that. I'm not gonna just dive into everything, but I feel like in regards to this, and good for him. He's identifying with himself and he wanted to make it public. That's great. I feel personally, especially when it's pertaining to the black community, that this LGBT movement is sort of, how do I say this without getting in trouble? I don't know. I just feel like there's
Stay what's on your mind. Go ahead. You won't get in trouble.
Just to be brutally honest here, I just feel like there's an underlining thing going on with the LGBT community as it pertains to black culture. If you haven't noticed, with black men specifically in Hollywood, a lot of things have been associated through them, like with the men in the dresses. That's for one. The whole pedophile thing with R. Kelly. Now we have Malik Yoba. Now these are just things I'm just remembering.
Pedophile thing. When you say pedophile, you know what I think of? I think of the director Woody, not Woody Harrelson, but
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. I think of him. I think of the casting couch. What's that guy's name?
Oh, Harvey Weinstein.
That's who I think of. I don't think of R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I think of R. Kelly as a misogynist, maybe a womanizer, maybe like he take advantage. I wouldn't call. I mean, yes, things are like the law says that pedophilia is this age and that age. You know what I mean? But I mean, there's a lot of things that you can discern, like about maturity and what that person has been through to say that they were more mature in that situation. But I would say yes, R. Kelly is guilty of pedophilia.
Yeah.
But when I say pedophilia, I don't think of R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I think of priests. Catholic priests, and so go ahead.
I'm basically saying, and of course, the viewers can definitely disagree with me if they want to. Everyone's entitled to their own subjective opinion, but I feel, just because I've noticed the trends as a journalist and doing research, looking at it analytically, I feel like there's some sort of attack with the LGBT community as it pertains to black people, meaning they're trying to effeminize the black man. Unfortunately, I know people would like to disagree with me, but if you do your thorough research and you talk to people who are politicians and scholars in this specific field in regards to psychology and how they're portraying black people as a whole, not just in regards to sexuality, but in everything we do, you'll see what I'm talking about. For example, Black Lives Matter. which was a group funded by George Soros, by the way. This group, when you go to their website,
Who's George Soros? For a second, just so
George
people don't know.
Soros is a billionaire who provided funding for the first initial movement of Black Lives
He's
Matter.
a billionaire. What kind of billionaire?
He just is in business.
Because
He's
it's Black
very-
Lives Matter. Is he a
Yeah.
black man?
He's not a black man.
What is he?
Ironically enough, he's a white man.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all we have to
So when you even look at Black Lives Matter, when you first look at their website, a lot of the stuff that is covered on the site has to do with the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm pretty sure it's a safe place for people to come out and go through whatever they're going through as far as
Yeah.
identifying with themselves. But there are several societal issues that plague the Black community that are not really touched upon as much as the LGBT community is when you go to their site, and you can do that right now. So that example, which is on like a public spectrum there, you could see, like, you know what I mean? We live in a time now, basically, Dre, where we don't need to, I mean, of course, everyone, there are some old-fashioned people who don't accept your gender orientation, but especially since before the 90s, we've come accustomed to people and their different sexual identities. So the fact that we're just being blown with LGBT everything is a bit much. And when you talk to scholars and interview people who are in this field, you'll kind of get answers to the questions that you're looking for, For like teaching kids to, you know what I mean, about different sexes when they're young and stuff, like, intrusive things like that, it's a bit much.
It's different than teaching tolerance and teaching understanding of other people's choices,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So we're just talking about this subject. It reminds me of the David Chappelle special on Netflix. He did a
Yes.
stand-up special where, and I love the way, and I should have been referring as Dave Chappelle, because he set the standard of how I will be referring to this community, like, the G's, the L's, the B's, and the T's. You know what I'm saying?
And now P, because pedo's going to be a part of it.
Well, they're not a part of it yet, so there's no P.
It's under construction. They're doing it in the UK.
Is it a part of their law?
It's
No.
being a
No,
part
no,
of their
no.
law.
So we're not
I
counting
don't
it until they do.
Yeah, but it's in the
Okay?
works.
So,
I'm saying it's in
I
the
mean,
works. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle was talking about them with these letters, and they tried to make a thing about it on online, but it seemed to die down because nothing's wrong with saying B's and L's and T's and you know what I mean. So that's, once we have an understanding of how we can refer to you without offending, you know what I'm saying, then there's more of an understanding. But it's been this whole back and forth on how to not offend but still state my point. Like, if I don't like grape juice and you like grape juice, you're not supposed to hate me. I'm not gonna hate you because you like grape juice, but I might not like the smell of grape juice, right?
Exactly.
So maybe I won't come around you when you're drinking grape juice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna hate you. You understand?
Exactly.
And that's what I feel we should do. Like, if you don't like it, you don't have to be around it, but you don't have to hate it, right?
Exactly.
And that's what we're promoting. Nobody should get hurt because you disagree with their lifestyle, unless their lifestyle is hurting you, like physically hurting you, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We're not gonna, no violence.
And for the record, and FYI, I just want to say a self-disclaimer. I did a whole entire magazine called Gay Matters Toronto. I am in no way, shape, or form against LGBT people or people who identify with that culture as far as their sexual orientation is concerned. I just want to state that for the record. I'm not homophobic. I'm just letting that I worked with them. I'm an ally.
Isn't the
So
term? Isn't there a new term?
I just want
Hold
to
on.
state that.
Isn't there a new term for homophobics, like hetero? It's a different. There's a new term. If you know the new term, type it in. Hit us up, because we know we got a lot of intelligent people that watch What's Poppin' on a daily basis. Shout out Lala.
Are there new comments there?
Pretty. Ava, big up yourself. You don't know we're there in the building. Big up all the fathers, mothers, and the children. Yeah. Anyways, what else is popping? Oh, what's popping is Fam TV Delta combining to hit you up with a brand new culinary program that's going on for 13 to 18-year-olds, and it's going to be at the Dixon and Islington buildings just across from the old Don Bosco High School that got shut down. Thanks, Doug Ford. Yeah, culinary program is going down. We're going to be doing 13 weeks of laid back but yet intensive culinary study. We're gonna do things like train your youth for a WMIS program. You know, every time you go to a job, you have to do this WMIS, and it's like you're gonna say after you do this program, you're like, got it. You know what I'm saying? Got that ticket. Then we're gonna train you and then support you while you take the food handling certificate test. And then once you take that food handling certificate, once you have that, then you can now work in food trucks. You can sell food on the street as a vendor. You can work in a restaurant as a chef or a cook. Line, you know, you can get a job. Also, we're going to be teaching serving and dinner etiquette. So those of you who are into service and getting tips as a waiter or waitress, or you know, you want to be you want to do events, plan events, that type of thing, will definitely be your stepping stone. So DM, or if we're on Facebook, PM me. Get at Howie if you need to. She'll get the message to me, and we'll get your child registered. You have to be able to get to Dixon and Islington every Thursday. It's from 4 to 6:30. We're gonna do a 2-hour window so that we can cook and eat. And then we're also gonna be having guest chefs that are coming in, mentor chefs that have been through real life, and they're also gonna be talking about healthy foods and life skills. Also, the other aspects of the program is we are going to be having a little competition, a little Top Chef, Fam TV Top Chef competition. So all in all, it's going to be a great opportunity for your youth that you know, or your child, to get a exposure to the food industry, and also understanding taking care of yourself and budgeting, healthy eating, and the difference between, you know, unnatural foods like GMOs and actually truly organic food. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna connect with a lot of community organizations, the African Canadian Food Basket. We're connecting with Humber College. We're looking to get a tour of the culinary department. So, you know, we're always FamTV, Fearless African Movement as a whole. Me, myself, I'm always looking at exposing youth to career pathways. What is your career path? We talked last time about entrepreneurship and passion plus skills, but what is your career path? What do you want to do? So, and that's what we do. We help them find their path, career path. So yeah, check us out. Come connect with us. If you do something important in the community, if you're an artist and you have actual product that's packaged and ready to go, even if you just have a video, come contact us, and we'll put you on, exposing it. We're getting a lot of views right now. We're getting up there. Thank you, YouTube.
Thank you, everybody.
We're about to get to the next level. So if you see a What's Poppin' IG pop up, follow. Get there. All right? So, how we got anything to say before we cut?
No, that's good. I'm really happy about your program. I'm really proud of you for that.
Yo, shout out my brother Bumani and the man Unk. The monk. Yeah, that's how we do it.
Monk Fitness, yeah.
That's the man Unk right there.
Yeah.
You understand? Don't get it twisted.
Fall is here, so if you need some
Hoodies.
hoodies, sweaters, you know, holla at it.
Holla. All my fashion designer. Hey, we said we was looking for DJs. All y'all DJs, don't be acting like rappers don't send you their music and all that. You don't send your stuff. You don't come and expose yourself on the show so you can get more gigs. You should be like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I should hire him for my baby shower. DJs, stop it. Stop it, DJs. Stop at 5. We done. That's what's poppin'. That's what's poppin', baby. That's what's poppin'. Yeah. What's
That's
poppin'? Let me